slide it in backwards. And, oh. Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And today we're going to be taking a look at the NECA Toys Ultimate Jungle Hunter Predator. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. If that's your sort of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell notification bell so you stay notified when I do upload new content. And if you do enjoy this video or any other content that I put out, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It's free and easy for you to do, and it really helps your channel grow. With all of that out of the way, once again, we're going to be taking a look at the NECA Toys Ultimate Jungle Hunter Predator. Now, I constantly say that I am not a collector of horror figures. However, I do have a handful of them, but I don't collect them not because I don't like horror films and I don't like horror film figures. It's mainly because it's just another rabbit hole to jump down, and most of the great horror films come with sequels, and of course NECA is going to give us an amazing figure for each sequel. So one, that's money and shelf space and real estate that it's going to need and take up, and that's all included in that rabbit hole that I'm talking about. But like I said, I do still own a handful of horror figures, and I feel like I should pick up one or two more, especially coming out of the month of October. I felt a little lacking in the spooky department. I did still get out a spooky pick every day on my Epic Shots by CoolFigurez Instagram page. However, seeing people use like Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, it really got me thinking like, man, I should at least pick up one or two of them so that way I can at least have them for the Halloween season to throw in and whatnot. Because that is still, technically a crossover, because I could still cross them over with other figures that I have during the Halloween season. And going back to me saying that I do own a handful of horror figures, it goes back to me wanting them specifically for crossover toy photography. So the handful of figures that I do own that are kind of somewhat horror are some xenomorphs, and of course some alien predators, or some predators. I mean, they are technically aliens, but I don't think you can say alien predators because of the whole alien versus predator thing. So I don't know, guys. I'm just rambling bullshit nonsense on right now. So anyways, I've been wanting to add this guy to my collection for some time now, because I have owned the NECA Dutch, Arnold Schwarzenegger figure for some time now. And for some time now, I've wanted to stick this guy right next to him on the shelf so they can be together and look really cool. However, I did buy this guy a few months back on eBay. However, it was a knockoff from China. So the second I articulated the legs, they popped out of place, just went, and yeah, they weren't going back in or working at all. So thankfully I was able to get my money back and return it, and thankfully on top of that I was able to find the official NECA release. No, I did not buy this off eBay. No, I didn't buy this off Amazon. I found this in store in a Target. I recently went up to San Francisco for a concert, and on the way home I, of course, as all toy hunters do, stop by Targets and Walmarts. And at one of the last Targets that we actually stopped at, I did happen to find this guy, and I was just so happy and ecstatic because, like I said, I've been wanting to stick this guy next to my Dutch figure for a long time, and I can finally do that here. So like I said, I do own another Predator, which is this Battle Damage City Hunter Predator from Predator 2. So stay tuned for the first ever comparison video here on the CoolFigurez channel. Well, actually, it's not really the first ever, because I did do a comparison video of the Mezco Batmans that I own. However, this is the first in a long line of series that I'm going to continue and do comparison videos whenever I have repaints or duplicates of figures, or something similar like that, or something like this where you want to maybe add a single Predator to your collection and you don't know if you want to go the route of the Jungle Hunter or the City Hunter, and that way that video can provide you with those answers. Or maybe you find that they're different enough, they come with enough different accessories and whatnot, and they look different enough that you can add both of them to your collection and justify it, because a lot of people will look at them and say, well, they both look pretty identical, pretty similar, and I have to admit they do, but at the same time they don't. So that hopefully that video will help if you're on the fence of which one to buy spine both is even reasonable, and all that. So stay tuned for that, most likely coming out tomorrow. So yeah, guys, this guy was a definite pickup when I found him in stores. And so yeah, enough about me talking about this figure and wanting it and picking it up. Let's go ahead and get on into this review and take a look at his accessories. So besides the head sculpt that he has on right here, which is just his unmasked head sculpt, he does come, of course, with a second masked head sculpt right here, which is super cool, I have to admit, because the other Predator that I have does not come with a fully masked head sculpt. So that's something to keep in mind if that's something that you do enjoy about the Predator. If you don't just like him for his alien look and you prefer his helmeted look, that's something to keep in mind. But like I said, we'll dive deeper into that in my comparison video tomorrow. So he does come with the face shield helmet right here, which is hollowed out in the back. However, it does not fit this guy's face, so don't think you're gonna be able to stick it on it. It barely even fits and works for pictures like if he's taking it off of his head, so it's not gonna fit his head in any shape or form. So next thing we're gonna look at is, of course, the shoulder cannon that this guy wears, and it is definitely beautifully detailed. I mean, look at all the design and detail in this in this piece, and even this cable right here is super cool. It's, you know, pliable, movable, and look at all the intricate detailing and sketching and all this. And even in this gun right here, I mean, there's so much detail in it. I mean, it's just insane how much detail is there. So like I said, it is on a hinge right here at the bottom, and then a ball joint at the top, so you can rotate 360 and shoot and fire. And of course, it does come with a pulse effect, which you just plug in right there, and now you can make it look like it's shooting. So this thing does attach to the Predator right here. I'll be honest, guys, I have yet to get it to fully attach because this thing just does not want to attach, but it sits on there just tight enough to where he can, you know, have it on him and utilize it and whatnot. But do not move that left arm. If you move that left arm, I guarantee you it's gonna fall off, and I'll prove it to you right here. So we move it up. Oh, actually, it's actually staying on there pretty well now. So of course, when I say shit on camera and I go to prove it to you guys, it doesn't. Oh, wait, right there. So it's the up and down movement that throws it off, but it's still holding on. Although I'll be honest, this is the first time I try to connect it solely through the bottom instead of the top. I've always tried to connect it from the top to the bottom, so that may be the issue there too. So maybe you want to connect it from the bottom to the top, and it'll stay on there a little more firm. So yeah, guys, that's the shoulder cannon that he does come with. But we're not done with the accessories just yet, so let me try to pose this guy up, get him to stand on his own, so that I can have some free hands to show you the last few accessories that he comes with. He does come with a nice skull right here. So this thing is actually really nice and really creepy looking. It actually has a very nice paint tone. It does look very much similar to bone. So super cool, super creepy, like I said. And he does come with another skull, but this one is actually attached to a spine, guys. So super creepy and even cooler. So definitely going to be using this with my Gotham by Gaslight Mezco Joker. So this guy does come with a pair of open hands. So here is the right. He has the left right there. He comes with a fisted right hand as well, and a right C-grip hand right here so that he can hold some of the accessories. But he doesn't really come with things to hold, but the thing you would hold in this hand would be this skull and vertebrae, essentially. So it's not the easiest thing to get in. I think they found the easiest way to slide it in backwards and then twist it. Let me see. That's not backwards. That's backwards right there. Slide it in backwards. And alright, guys, so that's the best I got it to hold it, which isn't too bad. I mean, it's at the base, but I'm sure if we push and shove, and there we go, we can move it about all over. So it does grab the vertebrae pretty decently right there. So yeah, that is all the accessories that this guy comes with. So let's go ahead and pull him forward so we could take a nice closer look at this guy. So pulling him closer, you can see that he is definitely heavily heavily detailed all over his body and whatnot, and he is textured as well. This isn't a flat finish. You can definitely feel all the lines and ridges on this guy, which is super cool. And I mean, look at this head. I mean, it is just creepy looking. I do wish they would have given us another head with him unmasked and this all, out and open like he's screaming and stuff. I think that would have been really cool. But it is what it is. So here's a look at the back. I like the design of this guy. He's a little, traditional with the loincloth right here. But then you get the cybernetic alien tech up here and the armor right here. So super cool. So since we're on this side, let's go ahead and take a look at his bladed forearm right here. So nice detail in the gauntlet right here. And as you can see, the blades are extended pretty long. But the cool thing is they go right in. But be very, very careful because these are a hard, thin plastic that will break if he falls on them, or if anything falls on them, or if you breathe on them hard enough or look at them hard enough, they will break. So just keep that in mind. I'm just kidding about the breathing and the looking at them, but the falling is not a joke. So on this other forearm, he does have this wrist communicator slash nuclear EMP bomb. So it does flip open and articulate. And unlike the knockoff that I bought, it did actually break right here. So as you can see, the two white pieces, that's where it should be attached, but it didn't want to open when I first got it. So I kind of shoved it open, forced it open, and lo and behold, it opened, but it snapped off one of the straps. So here he has the digital computer where you can see some of the number readouts right here that you see at the end of the movie after he types in something into it, and Arnie sees these numbers start to disappear, and one screen gets black and the other one, and then the other one. And he just realized it's time to get the fuck out of there, because it doesn't take someone knowing alien or predator heritage, culture, knowledge of technology to know that when a screen is going black one after the other, it has to be a fucking countdown. So he sees that and gets the fuck out of there. But NECA does provide you with a few little dashes and hashes right there in red so that you can see. So yeah, guys, that is a nice close look. Oh yeah, these necklaces are separate pieces, all of them right here. There's 3 of them. There's a sash. There's like a sash made of vertebrae right here. Another sash made of bones, and then another one right here, which is actually just a small necklace. So yeah, guys, super cool. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this guy's articulation. But first, you know what? I'm going to fix my camera because this guy's a tall guy, so he needs a little more space opposed to, other figures. So we're going to bring this up. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at this guy's articulation. He can look all the way to the right, all the way to the left if his head falls off. No, I'm just kidding. He actually has better articulation than that. I just need to be a little more careful with it because, as you see, it's not a regular typical ball joint or head joint or whatnot. And this thing is an oddly shaped head. It's not a perfectly round human head. So it does have its issues at some points, but you can see it does turn all the way to the right, all the way to the left. Oops. Once again, you have to be a little more gentle when trying to move it forward and back if you don't want the head to fall off. He looks down that much. He does look back significantly though, and this is what I'm talking about. If you just gotta be a little careful and push it back a little bit better. He looks up that much, which is really good since he tends to be looking up, at the stars and the skies like, oh shit, an enemy approaches, type of shit like that. So his arms do go out to that far. His armor kind of hinders it going any further. Same thing with this one. The armor up here hinders it. You do get no rotation at the bicep. You do get 360 rotation at the shoulder, but these cables hinder it because, cables. You do get double hinge elbow joints, which allow for that much articulation. You do get rotation at the wrist as well as in and out hinging. No rotation at the forearm, however. So taking a look at his ab rotation, he does rotate at the top of the waist and at the bottom of the waist, which is really nice when they do rotate at both points. He does not crunch forward at all. He crunches back just ever so slightly. His leg articulation, I am super scared to go any further than this, so he definitely cannot join the cheerleading squad. Definitely not flexible enough to do that. In terms of kicking outward, he literally can only kick that far out, and then I'm afraid that it's going to snap. He can only kick back that far. His knees are double jointed, so if you heat him up, because this is an older figure, so you're definitely going to have to heat him up if you want to go past this. It seems like he'll be able to kick his own ass, so that's good. His ankles do articulate down that far, up that far, and of course a ball rocker hinge joint inside them. That is a look at the NECA Toys Ultimate Jungle Hunter Predator. What do you guys think? I think this guy is definitely really cool, and it's always nice to have the original obviously in your collection, and especially since I have that Dutch NECA figure. They're going to go paired beautifully together. But before that, and before we end this video, let's go ahead and take a look at some really cool pics that I took of this guy, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez, and I do have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out. If you like what you see, leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys want to see the unboxing of this figure or any other toys I do reviews on for this channel, go ahead and check me out on TikTok at CoolFigurez, because that's where I do all my unboxings. And join me every Sunday for Coffee and Toys, a weekly toy news, toy talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, and so much more. With that being said, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it. As always, I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you so much to this channel sponsor, CoolFigurez Store. Check them out for all your Funko Pop, anime, Pokemon card, and toy print needs. And of course, use code CoolFigurez at checkout for 10% off your order. CoolFigurez Store. Check them out, guys.